everyone, and welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm your host, Maya, and I'm absolutely buzzing with excitement for today's topic. We are going to tackle what I like to call the holy grail of language learning, the one skill that separates good English speakers from truly fluent, confident ones.
And I'm Aiden, your co-host, ready to get into the nitty-gritty. We're talking about that frustrating moment in a conversation when your brain freezes. You know what you want to say in your own language, but there's this mental traffic jam as you try to translate every single word into English. It's slow, it's awkward, and today we're going to help you bypass that traffic jam for good.
That's so true, Aiden. It's the difference between feeling like you're performing English and actually living in it. Today's episode is all about that. We're calling it How to Think in English and why it changes everything. We're going to give you a step-by-step guide to rewire your brain so that English becomes your default setting for thinking, reacting, and speaking.
This is the big one, folks. This is the secret sauce that makes your conversations flow and your confidence skyrocket. And because this is such a crucial topic, we knew we had to bring in the best. Our phenomenal language expert, Sophie, is back with us in the studio. Sophie, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Maya and Aiden. I'm so glad we're covering this. Thinking in English is, without a doubt, the most transformative skill a learner can develop. I see so many students who have an amazing vocabulary and understand grammar perfectly, but they feel stuck because they're constantly running a translation program in their heads. It's like trying to run a modern video game on a 20-year-old computer. It's just too slow.
What a perfect analogy. So you're saying it's not about knowing more words, but about changing the whole process?
Exactly. It's a mental habit. Translation is a natural first step. It's like the training wheels on a bicycle. It helps you get started and feel safe. But to truly ride with speed and freedom, you have to take the training wheels off. Today, we'll show you how to do that, step by step, in a way that isn't scary or overwhelming. We'll build new mental pathways so that thinking in English feels just as natural as thinking in your native language.
I'm ready to take my training wheels off. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I'd be in a conversation and someone would ask me a simple question, and my brain would just buffer, like that little spinning wheel on a computer screen. By the time I had the perfect sentence translated, the conversation had already moved on. It was the worst.
That is the exact feeling we want to eliminate. And we can. It's all about practice, patience, and the right techniques. So, if you're ready, let's dive into the first, most fundamental step.
Let's do it. So, Sophie, before we get to the how, can we talk a little more about the why? Why is translating in our heads so detrimental to achieving fluency? What's actually happening in our brains?
That is the perfect place to start, Maya. Understanding the problem is half the battle. Think about the cognitive process. When you're translating, you're forcing your brain to do a 3-step, or sometimes 4-step, process for every single idea.
Okay, break that down for us. What are those steps?
Of course. Let's say someone asks you in English, "What did you do this weekend?" If you're in translation mode, your brain does this. Step 1, you hear the English question and translate it into your native language. What did he just ask me? Oh, he wants to know what I did this weekend. Step 2, you then formulate the answer in your native language. Ah, okay. I went to the park with my family and we had a picnic. Step 3, you then painstakingly translate that answer, word by word, back into English. I went to the park with my family. You're searching for the right vocabulary, the right grammar, the right sentence structure. Step 4, you finally speak the translated sentence, often with hesitation. That's a huge amount of mental energy. It's slow and it's exhausting.
Wow. When you lay it out like that, it's no wonder conversations feel so difficult. You're basically acting as your own real-time interpreter. But what does a fluent speaker's brain do?
A fluent speaker, someone who thinks in English, has a much more direct, 2-step process. Step 1. They hear the English question, "What did you do this weekend?" And they understand it directly in English. There's no translation stop. Step 2. They formulate and speak the answer directly in English. The thought itself is born in English. "Oh, this weekend? I went to the park with my family. It was lovely." The thought and the language are one and the same. It's instant. It's effortless. That's the goal.
That's the dream right there. No more buffering. No more awkward silences while my brain computer reboots. So it's really just a habit we've built up?
Precisely, Aiden. It's a comfortable habit because your native language is your safe space. But it's a habit that creates a permanent ceiling on your fluency. To break through that ceiling, we have to start building a new, better habit. And we start incredibly small. Are you ready for the first practical technique?
I'm on the edge of my seat. Let's hear it.
All right. Our first mission is to create a tiny English island in your brain, a place where only English is allowed. We're not going to start with complex conversations. We're going to start with the world immediately around you. This first technique is what I call object labeling.
Object labeling. Okay, sounds simple enough. What does that mean?
It's as simple as it sounds. For just 1 to 5 minutes a day, I want you to look around whatever room you're in and mentally label the objects you see in English. The crucial rule is, do not translate. Don't look at your desk and think, "My word for this is mesa, and the English word is table." No. You just look at the object and think the English word directly.
Oh, I think I get it. So I'd look at my computer and just think laptop. Then look at my drink and think coffee mug. Then look out the window and think window, tree, car.
Exactly. You are creating a direct link between the physical object and the English word, completely bypassing your native language. You're building the foundation of your English island. Let's try it right now. Aiden, you're in the studio. What do you see?
Okay, microphone, headphones, water bottle, soundboard, chair. Hey, that feels kind of cool, actually. It's like I'm seeing these things for the first time, but in English.
That's the exact feeling. For our listeners, especially at the B1 level, this is your homework. Do it every day. When you're in the kitchen, refrigerator, spoon, plate, in your bedroom, bed, pillow, lamp. It takes no extra time. You can do it while you're brushing your teeth.
I love that. It's so accessible. What about for our more advanced B2 or C1 learners? Is this too simple for them?
Great question, Maya. For higher level learners, you can upgrade this exercise. Instead of just labeling the noun, create a simple phrase or a short sentence about it. So instead of just laptop, you might think, "My laptop is open." Instead of coffee mug, you think, "That's my favorite coffee mug." Or even, "I should probably wash that coffee mug."
Oh, that's a great way to level it up. So I could look at my water bottle and think, my water bottle is almost empty. I need a refill.
Perfect. Aiden, you're already building more complex thoughts directly in English. Listeners, try this out loud with us. Look around you right now. Pick one object. Now, say the English word for it. Just the word. Go on. Great. Now, if you're feeling more confident, create a short phrase about it. Say it out loud. You see? You're already starting to think in English.
That feels so powerful, yet so simple. It's like laying the first bricks of a new house. Okay, so we're labeling objects. What's the next step on our journey to building this English island?
The next step is to add action. We've populated our island with things. Now we need to make things happen. This technique is called narrating your day. or creating an internal monologue in English.
You mean talking to myself? In my head?
Exactly. Or even quietly out loud if you're alone. As you go about your day, describe what you're doing in simple, present tense English. Again, the key is to keep it simple. You're not trying to write a novel. You're just creating a running commentary.
Can you give us an example? Like, what would that sound like in the morning?
Of course. Let's say you're getting ready for work. Your internal monologue might sound like this. Okay, I am waking up now. I am getting out of bed. I am walking to the bathroom. I am brushing my teeth. Now I am choosing my clothes for today. I think I will wear the blue shirt.
Laughs. That feels a little bit silly, but I can totally see how it would work. You're constantly activating the English part of your brain for everyday mundane things.
The silly feeling goes away quickly. I promise. Because what you're doing is incredibly strategic. You're taking your daily, automatic routines, actions you don't even think about in your native language, and consciously connecting them to English. You're not just thinking about English. You're thinking in English about your life.
So it becomes the soundtrack to your day. And I imagine, like the object labeling, this can be leveled up for more advanced learners.
Absolutely. A B2 or C1 learner can add more complexity. Instead of, I am making coffee, you might think, I wonder if I have enough milk for my coffee. Or, I remember buying this coffee last week. It smells really good. You start adding opinions, questions, and memories to your internal monologue. You're building a rich, internal world in English.
Okay, I'm sold on that one. It's a great way to practice without needing a partner. So we have labeling objects and narrating our actions. What's technique number 3? This feels like we're unlocking levels in a game.
That's a great way to see it. The next level is about how you handle new information. I call this the dictionary shift. It targets a very specific habit that keeps learners stuck in translation mode.
The dictionary shift. Are you talking about how we look up new words?
Precisely. Most learners, when they encounter a new English word, immediately pull out their phone and use a bilingual dictionary or a translation app to find the equivalent in their native language. For example, they see the word serene and look it up to find it means sereno or calm or ruhig.
Yeah, of course. How else would you know what it means?
That's the trap. Every time you do that, you strengthen the bridge between English and your native language. You reinforce the translation habit. The shift is to stop using bilingual dictionaries and start using English to English, monolingual dictionaries.
So you look up an English word and get the definition in English.
Exactly. Or even better, use a search engine and look for serene definition, or just type the word into Google Images. If you look up serene in an English dictionary, you'll see calm, peaceful, and untroubled. Now you've learned 3 new English words or reinforced words you already knew. If you look up serene in Google Images, you'll see beautiful, calm lakes, peaceful sunsets, and meditating figures. Your brain will create a direct, conceptual, and visual link to the meaning of serene, completely inside your English island.
Wow, I have never thought of that. I'm so guilty of just typing words into Google Translate. But what you're saying makes perfect sense. It forces your brain to stay in English mode to solve the puzzle of the new word.
It's a game changer. It feels harder at first, but it builds incredibly strong and lasting neural pathways. You start connecting English words to other English words and concepts, not just to their translations.
That is a powerful and very practical tip. So for our listeners, the challenge is to change your dictionary bookmark. Go from a bilingual one to something like Merriam-Webster, the Oxford English Dictionary, or just use Google Images. Okay, Sophie, what have you got for us next?
The next technique is about actively generating thoughts instead of just narrating. We'll call it thinking in categories. This one is great for those 5-minute pockets of time you have while waiting in line or commuting.
Thinking in categories. All right, lay it on us.
It's simple. Pick a category. For example, fruit. Then, for 1 minute, mentally list as many fruits as you can in English. Apple, banana, orange, strawberry, blueberry, mango, pineapple, watermelon. Don't translate. Just pull the words directly from your English vocabulary.
I see. So it's like a mental flashcard drill. What other categories could we use?
Anything. Furniture, chair, table, sofa, bed, wardrobe. Clothes, shirt, pants, dress, jacket, socks. Actions you can do in a kitchen. Chop, stir, fry, boil, bake, pour. For more advanced learners, try abstract categories like emotions, happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear, disgust, or things that are blue, the sky, the ocean, a blueberry, a sapphire, my favorite shirt.
This also feels like a great way to find gaps in your vocabulary. If I'm listing kitchen items and I get stuck on the thing I use to flip pancakes, I know what I need to look up later, using my new English to English dictionary, of course.
Exactly. It's both practice and a diagnostic tool. It strengthens the networks in your brain, making it faster to recall related words in a real conversation. You're not searching your entire brain for a word. You're going to the right file cabinet where it's stored with similar items.
This is a fantastic set of tools, Sophie. We have object labeling, narrating your day, the dictionary shift, and thinking in categories. Is there one final technique for people who feel they're ready for the big leagues, for actual conversations?
Yes. The final step is to start thinking in preparation for and in response to actual communication. This is our fifth and final technique, the conversation rehearsal.
Rehearsal? Like I'm an actor preparing for a play.
In a way, yes. We all have conversations we can anticipate. If you have a meeting tomorrow, you can probably guess some of the topics. If you're going to a coffee shop, you know you'll have to order. Instead of waiting for the moment and panicking, you can rehearse it in your head in English.
So you're creating little mini scripts for yourself?
In a way, yes. We all have conversations we can anticipate. If you have a meeting tomorrow, you can probably guess some of the topics. If you're going to a coffee shop, you know you'll have to order. Instead of waiting for the moment and panicking, you can rehearse it in your head in English.
That would take so much pressure off. I do this in my native language before a difficult phone call, so it makes sense to do it in English. You can even do it after a conversation.
That's the advanced version of this, Aiden. It's called the conversation review. After you've had a conversation in English, take 5 minutes to replay it in your mind. What went well? Where did you get stuck? Was there a word you were looking for? Now you have the time and space to look up that word using a monolingual dictionary and think, I wanted to say the meeting was productive. You then rerun that part of the mental conversation with the right word. You're learning from your own experience and preparing for next time.
Sophie, this is a complete roadmap. You've taken this huge, intimidating goal, think in English, and broken it down into 5 manageable, scalable steps. Let's recap them one more time for everyone. 1, object labeling. 2, narrating your day. 3, the dictionary shift. 4, thinking in categories. And 5, the conversation rehearsal and review.
But what about when we're trying these techniques and we just get stuck? What if I'm narrating my day and I don't know the word for what I'm doing? The instinct is to immediately switch back to my native language.
That's the most important moment, Aiden. The moment you get stuck is a fork in the road. Path 1 is switching to your native language, which weakens your English island. Path 2 is to stay in English and describe the word you don't know. If you don't know the word spatula, don't give up. Think, I am using the flat thing for flipping my eggs, the plastic tool for the pan. This is an incredibly powerful skill called circumlocution, and it's what fluent speakers do, even in their native language. By forcing yourself to describe it, you stay in English, you communicate the idea, and you can look up the word later to fill the gap. Never let one missing word force you back to translation.
That's the ultimate advice. Don't break the seal on your English island. Just build a little boat to get around the obstacle. Sophie, this has been unbelievably helpful. I feel like our listeners now have a real practical plan to finally take the training wheels off.
I definitely do. It feels less like magic and more like exercise. It's something you just have to do consistently, even for a few minutes a day, and you'll get stronger. No more buffering for me.
That's the perfect summary. Aiden. It's not magic. It's a mental muscle. Be patient and kind to yourself. You are fundamentally rewiring your brain. It won't happen overnight, but with these small, consistent exercises, you will break through the fluency ceiling. You'll stop being a visitor in the English language and start living inside it.
Start living inside it. I love that. Sophie, thank you so much for breaking this down for us today. It's been truly transformative.
It was my absolute pleasure. Keep practicing, everyone.
Wow. I'm genuinely excited to start narrating my morning coffee routine tomorrow.
Me too. And that's all the time we have for today, folks. A huge thank you to our expert, Sophie, and to all of you for tuning in. Join us next week on Talk English Now, where we'll be tackling another common challenge, understanding fast native speaker accents. You won't want to miss it.
Until then, keep talking and start thinking in English.